I thought I was safe, until my teacher showed up a true infidelity story. I never imagined my safe place could turn into something straight out of a nightmare. For most people, school is just school, boring classes, annoying group projects, maybe a little drama in the hallways. But for me, it became the setting for something I still can't fully process. It all started on a regular Monday. I remember the sun was out, my earbuds were in, and I was just trying to make it through the day without falling asleep in history class. I thought everything in my life was normal. I had a routine, I had friends, and I trusted the people around me, especially my teacher. He wasn't just any teacher, he was the kind students actually liked. Funny, laid back, and always willing to help. That's what made everything so confusing. At first, there were small things that didn't seem like a big deal. A few extra compliments, staying after class a little too long to talk, or bumping into each other, coincidentally, outside of school. It felt flattering at first, and honestly, I didn't think too much of it. He was charming in that overly confident way, and I guess part of me felt special. But deep down, something always felt off. I tried to ignore it, telling myself I was overthinking. After all, why would a teacher cross the line like that? Why risk everything? But then things took a strange turn. One afternoon, I left school early to surprise my mom at work, something I hadn't done in years. But when I got there, her car wasn't in the lot. I didn't think anything of it at first. Maybe she left for a meeting or was picking up lunch. So, I texted her. No reply. A few minutes passed. Still nothing. That uneasy feeling returned, like something wasn't right, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I ended up heading home early, thinking maybe she'd just decided to take the day off. But when I opened the front door, I could hear voices, low, private voices, coming from upstairs. I froze. My heart started racing. I couldn't explain it, but I knew something was wrong. Quietly, I made my way up the stairs, each step heavier than the last. And then, I heard his voice. Clear as day. My teacher. For a second, I thought I was hallucinating. Why would he be in my house? Why was he with my mom? I stopped just outside the bedroom door, and that's when it hit me. All the weird behavior, all the subtle comments, the strange looks between them that I never paid attention to, it all made sense in one horrifying moment. My world shattered right there in the hallway. But that wasn't even the worst part. What happened next changed everything I thought I knew about trust, loyalty, and the people closest to me, and I wasn't ready for any of it. Let me know if you'd like to continue the next part of the story or shape it into a video script format. I didn't open the door. I couldn't. I just stood there, frozen, my hand halfway to the doorknob. My heart was pounding so loud it felt like the whole house could hear it. I couldn't see anything, but I didn't need to. His voice, his familiar, calm, classroom voice, was unmistakable. And my mom's laugh, soft and familiar, sent a wave of confusion crashing through me. I backed away slowly, trying not to make a sound, my brain racing through every possible explanation. Maybe it wasn't what it sounded like. Maybe they were just talking. But no matter how hard I tried to convince myself, I couldn't shake that heavy feeling in my chest. I slipped out of the house and sat on the porch for what felt like forever. My hands were shaking, and I kept replaying every interaction I'd ever had with him in my mind. I started remembering little things, like the time he gave me a ride home because it was raining, or how he once mentioned knowing the neighborhood I lived in. Back then, it all seemed harmless. But now, it felt different. Like there were pieces of a puzzle I hadn't realized I was putting together until now. That night, I didn't say anything. I couldn't. I didn't even look my mom in the eye. She acted like nothing had happened, like it was just another normal evening. She asked how school was, what I wanted for dinner, and I answered like I always did. But inside, everything had changed. I kept waiting for her to bring it up, to say something, anything, but she didn't. And neither did he. The next day at school, he acted completely normal. He handed out worksheets, joked with the class, and didn't even glance in my direction more than usual. It was like nothing had happened. But now I was hyper-aware. I noticed every glance, every word, every quiet moment between us. It felt like a game I didn't know I was part of. I didn't know if he knew I had hurt him. I didn't know if my mom knew I'd come home early. And I definitely didn't know what to do next. I started pulling away from both of them, pretending everything was fine on the outside while slowly unraveling inside. My trust was gone, replaced by questions that kept me up at night. Was this something new, or had it been going on for a while? How had I missed the signs? And most of all, why me? Let me know if you'd like to follow the story into its next big turning point or add dialogue to deepen the emotion and tension. Days turned into weeks, but that feeling in my chest never left. I couldn't focus in class, especially not in his. Every time he walked into the room, it felt like the air changed. He'd make his usual jokes, hand out papers, carry on like he always had, but I could feel the difference. I kept thinking, how many others had no idea? How many students trusted him the same way I once did? And what about my mom? Did she think I was too naive to figure it out? Or was she just pretending like nothing was happening so she wouldn't have to face it? I started avoiding home. I'd stay late at school under the excuse of studying, or I'd walk around the neighborhood until the sun went down. I didn't want to be under the same roof as her. Not while I had all these unanswered questions sitting like bricks in my stomach. We used to talk about everything, school, friends, even relationships. But now, silence filled every space between us. It was like we were strangers living in the same house, carefully avoiding the one thing we both knew was sitting there, unspoken. I even thought about confronting her once. I stood outside her bedroom door, hand raised, ready to knock, but I couldn't do it. What if she denied it? What if she admitted it? Either way, it would make it real. And I wasn't ready for that. At school, my best friend Megan started noticing something was off. I hadn't told her anything, but she picked up on the change fast. "You've been acting weird," she said one day after class. "You look like you're always somewhere else." I wanted to tell her. I really did. But how do you explain something like this? How do you say, my teacher might be in a relationship with my mom, and not sound completely insane? Meanwhile, I started digging for clues. I went through my mom's texts when she wasn't looking, checked her call log, even noticed she started locking her phone more often. And then, one night, I saw it, a saved contact under a fake name. But the number? It was his. I recognized it from a class list he'd once written on the board. That was the moment I knew I wasn't making this up. It was real. And worse, it was still happening. Let me know if you'd like to uncover what happens when the truth finally surfaces or explore Megan's role as the conflict builds. Everything started feeling like a countdown, like something big was coming and I couldn't stop it. After finding that fake contact on my mom's phone, I couldn't sleep. I kept checking her messages every chance I got, watching their conversations grow more personal, more obvious. She even saved a photo he sent, nothing inappropriate, just a casual selfie, but the fact that it was there, hidden under a different name, made my stomach twist. This wasn't just some mistake. It was intentional. They were hiding it. And that made everything worse. At school, I felt like I was holding a secret too big for me. Every time I looked at him, I could barely hold eye contact. But he acted the same. Confident. In control. Like nothing was wrong. He'd smile when he saw me in the hallway, say hi in front of my friends like nothing had changed. And maybe that's what made me the most angry. He knew I knew. I could see it in his eyes. There was this quiet challenge in the way he looked at me now, like he was daring me to say something. Like he believed I wouldn't. Megan kept pushing. She cornered me during lunch one day and wouldn't let it go. I finally broke and told her everything. At first, she didn't believe me. I don't blame her, it sounded unreal. But when I showed her the messages, the contact name, even the time stamps, her face changed completely. You need to do something, she whispered. But what could I do? If I told someone, it would blow up my life. My mom's job, my school, everything would be out in the open. But if I stayed quiet, I had to keep living like this, pretending not to see what was right in front of me. Then came the day of the parent-teacher conference. My mom told me she was going, said it casually over breakfast, like it was just another check-in. I felt the blood drain from my face. I asked her which teacher she was meeting, and of course, his name was first. I knew I had to go. I had to see it with my own eyes. Megan agreed to come with me, just to wait outside while I snuck into the building. I remember standing behind the door to his classroom, my heart beating so hard I thought it might give me away. And then I heard them. Let me know if you'd like to unveil the emotional climax next or dive deeper into the moment behind the classroom door. I pressed my back against the cold wall outside his classroom, barely breathing. The voices on the other side of the door were muffled, but I could recognize them, my mom and him. I leaned in closer, trying to make out their words. At first it was small talk, how the day had been, how the meeting was going, but then the tone shifted. There was something different in his voice, lower, more serious. My mom responded quietly, and I caught bits and pieces. Can't keep hiding, someone's getting suspicious, she knows. My stomach dropped. Were they talking about me? I turned to Megan, who was waiting just down the hall, watching nervously. She mouthed, "What are they saying?" but I couldn't even answer. My mind was racing. If they knew I was onto them, what were they planning? I wanted to storm in and confront them, but something told me to wait. I needed to hear more. Then, out of nowhere, I heard another name. A man's name I didn't recognize. My mom's voice had changed, quieter, tense. She said something about needing to tell him the truth before it got worse. My teacher sounded frustrated, even angry. He can't find out, not now, he snapped. I froze. Who was this other guy? What truth? Suddenly, this wasn't just about me walking in on some secret relationship, it was bigger. There was someone else involved, someone they were both hiding from. I felt like I was in the middle of a story I didn't understand. What had started as a betrayal now felt like a trap, like every step I took was uncovering another layer of lies. And now, I had more questions than ever. Who was this other man? Was my mom seeing someone else before this? Was my teacher trying to protect himself, or control the situation? Just then, the classroom door creaked open. I panicked and ducked around the corner with Megan, holding my breath. My mom stepped out, looking calm, maybe a little tired, and walked down the hall without noticing us. A few seconds later, he came out too. He looked around carefully, almost like he was checking if someone had overheard them. Our eyes met for the briefest second before I turned away, heart pounding. Later that night, I couldn't stop thinking about that name. I went through my mom's messages again, but there was nothing. Then I checked her email. That's where I found it, a message from weeks ago, buried under promotions and junk mail. It was from a man named Eric. The subject line read, "We need to talk. She's asking questions." My hands trembled as I opened it. That was the moment I realized this wasn't just about a secret affair. There was something darker going on, something that could hurt more than just feelings. And I was already in way too deep to back out now. Let me know if you'd like to reveal what was in the email and where it leads next, or explore what Megan uncovers about Eric. The email was short, but every word felt like a punch to the gut. We need to talk. She's asking questions. I think your daughter knows more than you think. You promised you'd tell him. I won't stay quiet forever. My chest tightened. Eric wasn't just some random guy, he knew about me. He was part of whatever secret they were hiding. I scrolled back through older emails and found a few more, scattered and vague, but enough to connect the dots. This wasn't just about my mom and my teacher, it was about someone they both had history with. And that someone had been kept in the dark, just like me. I showed Megan everything. She didn't say much, just looked at me like she couldn't believe any of this was real. "You have to confront them," she finally said. "Like, all of them. You deserve answers." I knew she was right. I couldn't keep pretending I didn't know what was going on. And honestly, I was tired of sneaking around, tired of not knowing who to trust. That weekend, I asked my mom if we could talk. Just the two of us. I sat across from her at the kitchen table, heart pounding. I didn't even ease into it, I just asked straight out, "Who is Eric? And why is he warning you about me?" Her face went pale. She opened her mouth to speak, then closed it again, like she was choosing her words carefully. "Eric is your real father," she said softly. "I was going to tell you eventually, I just didn't know how." I couldn't breathe. Everything inside me went still. All these years, I thought I knew who I was. But now? It felt like my entire life had been built on half-truths. And it wasn't just about her seeing my teacher, it was about lies that went way deeper. She finally admitted it all. She had reconnected with Eric months ago, trying to work things out in secret. My teacher, Mr. Lawson, found out, and instead of backing off, he used the situation to get close to her. He convinced her that Eric was dangerous, that it was better if I didn't know the truth. What started as manipulation had spiraled into a relationship built on control and fear. And when I started asking questions, they panicked. I confronted Mr. Lawson at school the next day. This time, I didn't stay silent. I told him I knew everything, that I knew about Eric, about how he twisted the situation, how he lied to both of us. He didn't deny it. He just looked at me, cold and quiet, then said, "I never meant for it to get this far." That was the last time I ever saw him. He resigned a week later. Just disappeared. But here's the twist no one saw coming. A few days after everything settled, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside was a note from Eric. It said, "You were never supposed to find out this way. But now that you have, there's more you don't know." Let me know if you'd like to explore what's inside Eric's letter in the final part or turn this into a full YouTube script episode. I stared at the letter for a long time, just holding it, like the paper itself had weight beyond its size. My hands were trembling, not because I was scared, but because I knew this wasn't over. I slowly unfolded the note, hoping for clarity, but instead I found more questions. Eric had written, "There's more you don't know. I tried to stay away to protect you, but the truth has a way of showing up anyway. Your mom made choices she thought were best, but you deserve to hear everything. When you're ready, I'll be waiting." He left a number at the bottom. No signature. Just that. For days, I kept that note in my backpack, taking it out during lunch or late at night when I couldn't sleep. Megan urged me to call him, said closure might help, but I wasn't sure what I was ready for. It already felt like the ground had shifted beneath me, learning that my teacher manipulated my mom, that Eric was actually my father, that everything I thought I understood about my life was off. Calling him felt like opening another door I might not be ready to walk through. Eventually, I did call. We talked for over an hour. He wasn't angry, just careful. Honest. He told me his side, how he and my mom had split when I was a baby, how she kept me away to protect me after things got complicated between them. He said he tried to come back into our lives more than once, but she never responded. And when he finally heard she was involved with someone like Mr. Lawson, he got worried. That's when he started reaching out, hoping to stop things before they got worse. I realized then how many people were just trying to protect each other, even if they made a mess of it along the way. My mom wasn't perfect. She lied, kept secrets, but deep down, she thought she was doing what was best. I didn't agree with how she handled it, but I understood. And Mr. Lawson? He made his choices, too. He used his position, twisted people's trust. In the end, he had to face the consequences. Life slowly started to feel normal again, or at least a new version of normal. My mom and I talked more honestly. She apologized, not just once, but often, and that mattered. Megan stayed by my side through all of it, reminding me that truth doesn't always come easy, but it's always worth chasing. And Eric? We didn't suddenly become best friends or anything, but we started to build something. Slowly. Carefully. A few phone calls, a visit, a walk in the park. Just two people trying to get to know each other after years of silence. Looking back, the story started with one moment, me thinking I was safe, just coming home early from school. But what it really became was a journey of finding the truth, facing the hard parts of family, and learning that sometimes, the people you thought you knew have entire stories you've never heard. And sometimes, you're stronger than you think, even when everything falls apart. End clapperboard title. I thought I was safe, until my teacher showed up a true infidelity story face screaming in fear broken heart pushpin description. Welcome to another shocking true story from real life broken heart, a tale that begins with trust, turns into confusion, and unravels into a storm of secrets, betrayal, and unexpected truths. You think you know the people closest to you, until one day, your teacher walks into your house, and nothing is ever the same again. Fearful face. In this emotional rollercoaster, a high school girl finds her world crumbling when a quiet afternoon turns into a moment of discovery she never saw coming. What starts as a normal day quickly becomes a living mystery. Why is her teacher acting strange? Why is her mother hiding something? And who is Eric, the man behind the final twist? Flushed face, watch till the end to experience the full unraveling of this deep and emotional story of infidelity, betrayal, and family secrets. Glowing star. What to expect in this video. White heavy checkmark. Real life relationship drama. White heavy checkmark. Suspenseful storytelling. White heavy checkmark. True emotional conflicts. White heavy checkmark. Shocking plot twists. White heavy checkmark. A secret past exposed. White heavy checkmark. Teacher student boundary breach. White heavy checkmark. Family betrayal and hidden truths. White heavy checkmark. A story that ends with powerful reflection. Brain keywords / tags for searchability. True story, infidelity story, teacher affair, mother betrayal, emotional story, teacher student scandal, real life story, YouTube drama story, storytelling. Hindi Urdu, suspense story, teacher secret revealed, cheating story, unexpected twist, viral story, YouTube infidelity series, family drama, relationship betrayal, life story channel, voiceover story, shocking story, true incident, hidden truth, dramatic story. Time stopwatch chapters for easy navigation. Midnight, intro, when everything seemed normal. 1:45. The strange arrival of my teacher. 4:30. The discovery that changed everything. 8 o'clock. The truth about Eric. 11:15. The final confrontation. 1400 hours. An unexpected letter. 16:30. Reflection and life after the storm. Megaphone. Comment below. Have you ever experienced something that shook your trust completely? Speech balloons. Share your thoughts, theories, or reactions in the comments. Your story might just be featured in a future episode. Fire. Why this story matters. Sometimes the people we trust most carry the biggest secrets. This is not just a tale of a forbidden relationship, it's a reminder that truth always finds its way out, no matter how long it's been buried. This story is for anyone who's ever felt betrayed, confused, or caught between love and lies. Thumbs up. Don't forget to white heavy checkmark like this video if the twists shocked you. White heavy checkmark. Subscribe for more real stories every week. White heavy checkmark. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. White heavy checkmark. Turn on notifications bell to never miss an upload. Pushpin. Stay connected. Email business inquiries. Your.email at example.com. Camera. Instagram at your channel name. Bird. Twitter at your channel handle. Movie camera. More videos. Insert playlist or channel link. Loudspeaker. Disclaimer. This story is based on true events but has been adapted for narrative clarity. No personal identities are revealed. This video follows all YouTube community guidelines and is intended for mature audiences interested in human stories, personal experiences, and relationship dynamics. Collision. Hashtags for visibility. Hashtag truestory. Hashtag infidelity story. Hashtag teacher scandal. Hashtag storytime. Hashtag YouTube drama. Hashtag betrayal story. Hashtag real life twist. Hashtag family secrets. Hashtag emotional story. Hashtag shocking story. Agar apko yes story pasand I ho. To like carrion. Comment carrion or apni dostan ku sath share zero or carrion. AC or Kahanian Kalia. Subscribe Karna Mat Bully Yeager Red Heart. Let me know if you'd like me to create a matching video title and thumbnail idea or write descriptions for shorts or teasers. PGSQL. Copy edit. True story, infidelity story, betrayal story, emotional story, teacher-student story, shocking twist, real-life story, voiceover story, suspense story, cheating drama, hidden truth, forbidden love, relationship drama, secret revealed, family betrayal, teacher scandal, real drama story, intense story time, cheating story time, real incident, suspenseful story, storytelling video, Hindi Urdu story, drama story in English, life story, mystery story, dark secrets, family conflict, true events, relationship secrets, emotional twist, shocking discovery, YouTube story channel, storytelling Hindi, viral drama story, YouTube real story, family drama story, exposed secrets, trust issues, true love story, story with twist camera with flash photo prompt, a realistic portrait of an American woman in her late 30s, with subtle makeup and shoulder-length brown hair, standing near a large window with soft golden sunlight filtering through sheer curtains. Her expression is conflicted and thoughtful, eyes slightly narrowed as if holding back emotions. She wears a neutral-toned blouse, minimal jewelry, and is looking off to the side, not directly at the camera. The background is softly blurred, suggesting a cozy home interior. Lighting is natural and warm, casting gentle shadows on her face for a cinematic, emotional look. 6.